Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. Yesterday we were discussing about the resistors connected in series and parallel, and we found out that when resistors are connected in parallel and series, the effective resistance will be either greater than the greatest value or lesser than the least value. This is the topic we were discussing yesterday, and we also know the formula for resistors connected in series. The effective resistance will be Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 up to Rn if there are n number of resistors. And similarly, for resistors in parallel, you have 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Now this is what we were discussing yesterday. Now based on this, I would like to discuss a problem which is there in your textbook in page number 94. So I want you to take that example 2.10. Now look at the sum, children. When two resistances connected in series and parallel, their equivalent resistances are 15 ohm and 56 by 15 ohm respectively. Find the individual resistances. Actually, I did this yesterday, but I didn't go through in detail. So again, I'm doing it. Okay, ma? Okay, now they have taken two resistors, children. And when they are connected in series, the effective resistance is Rs equal to R1 plus R2, which is equal to 15 ohm. Similarly, when it is connected in parallel, you have the formula Rp is equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2, and they have given the equivalent resistance as 56 by 15 ohm. So they have written those two equations, and what is that they have done is take the first equation, R1 plus R2 is equal to 15. So in the second equation, which is Rp, R1 R2 by, instead of R1 plus R2, they have substituted 15 ohm. Okay, ma? That is equal to 56 by 15, and hence I have the value of R1 R2 to be 56. Then I can write R2 in terms of R1, which is R2 equal to 56 by R1. It should be, children, there is a small error there. They have given 56 by 15. It is not 56 by 15. It is 56 by R1 ohm. Change it. Okay. Now I have the value of R2 in terms of R1, ma. Now substitute the value of R2 in equation 1 from equation 3. So take R1 R2 by R1 R2 is equal to 56. In that you substitute for R2 as R1 R2 as 56 by R1. So when you substitute R1 plus first equation, R1 plus R2 equal to 15 ohm, in that instead of R2 substitute 56 by R1 is equal to 15. Now cross multiply, you have R1 square plus 56 by R1 equal to 15. So you keep on simplifying. At the end of the simplification, I will have the value of R1 to be either 8 or 7. I will have two values, right? If R1 is going to take one value, the next value is R2. They have simplified like that. See there, first they have taken R1 equal to 8 ohm. If R1 is going to be 8 ohm, then they can find out the value of R2 to be 7 ohm. Or if you are going to take R2 to be 7 ohm, then you can find out the value of R1, which is to be 8 ohm. So you are getting two values for the resistors. R1 is 8 ohm and R2 is equal to 7 ohm. Okay, so they have given the problem in detail It is just a simplification process, understanding the concept and go for the process of simplification. Okay, ma? So with this, we are moving on to the next topic, which is called as color code for carbon resistors. Now, usually resistors, what is used for domestic purpose, are made up of carbon. Okay, they will go for carbon resistors. Now, actually, it is a ceramic. It is made up of a ceramic core, which is a thin layer of crystalline carbon. Okay. Now, in your page number 96, we are going to go for the topic carbon resistors. Now, this is how resistors look like. Look at the diagram which is given. This is how resistors will be. Okay. And you have two leads on either side, and you have colors that are marked on the resistors. Actually, this is a ceramic material. Okay. Now, these resistors are connected in circuits. Actually, resistor is a passive component which is connected in circuits, resistor, inductor. Now, these resistors will resist the flow of charges in a circuit. Okay, resistor, inductor, capacitor. Capacitor we were learning about in the first chapter. So, capacitor stores the electric charges. Resistors resist the flow of current, and we are going to study about inductor also, which is there in the next topic. I mean, fourth chapter, electromagnetic induction, we will be learning about inductor. So, all these are passive components that are connected in a circuit, and these carbon resistors are made up of ceramic material. And you have color rings that are there on the carbon resistors, from which you can find out the value of resistance of that particular resistor. So to find out the value of the particular resistor, we will go for this tabular column. This is how you should remember. Actually, all these colors will be there. Now any of the three colors will be there in the carbon resistor. Okay, so starting from black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, gray, white, gold, silver, and color. Now the last three is about the tolerance rate. Okay, now this colors up to 9, that is starting from black to white. Now how should you remember? And each color has been given a number. So with this, now this tabular column has to be very thorough. Only when you are thorough with this tabular column, you will be able to find out what is the value of the resistance of a particular resistor. To remember this, I am going to give you a very small code so that you can remember it very easily. So let us write the first letter starting from black. So let me write it as B. Next is brown, B, red, orange, yellow. Okay, B Roy. Okay, B Roy of Great Britain. Hope you can remember this sentence very easily. B Roy of Great Britain. I have written till the first few colors. B R O Y, Great Britain. Okay, B Roy of Great Britain had a very should be V, should be capital. Okay, very good wife. Remember this sentence. Hope you can remember this sentence. B Roy of Great Britain had a very good wife. Okay, so you can write this colors according to this sentence. B Roy, GB, V, G, W. So start from black. Black has got the number 0. Then brown 1. Then red 2. Orange 3. Yellow 4. You can give the numbers starting from 0. You have 10 numbers here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so you have to start from 0, 0 to 9. So this is how the number is written, and each number has a multiplier. Black it is 1, brown it is 10 power 1, then red it is 10 power 2, and up to white it is 10 power 9. Okay, and all these three colors have a tolerance. Okay, now let me explain you how to find out the resistance of a particular carbon resistor. Hope you remember this sentence, children. B.B. Roy of Great Britain had a very good wife. Remember this. Okay, now with this we will go to find out how the resistance of a resistor can be determined. Look at this. Now this is how the resistor will be. Now you have 4 rings here. Okay. Now the last ring will represent the tolerance rate. Actually this is a metallic band. This ring will be either gold in color or silver in color, or sometimes it is colorless. If it is gold in color, the tolerance rate is 5%. If the color is going to be, if the band is going to be silver, then the tolerance rate is 10%. If it is going to be colorless, then the tolerance rate is 20%. Okay, ma? Now, as far as this diagram is concerned, the tolerance rate is, it is gold band. Look at the band here. So if it is gold band, what is the tolerance? The tolerance is 5%. Okay, now what is the first color, children? The first color is green. Okay, and the second color is blue, right? Yes or no? So let us go to the first green color. Now what is the value of green color? Green color, the number is given as 5. Okay, ma? For green it is 5, for blue it is 6. So let us write the number here. So what is the first number? The first color is green, so it has got the number 5, and the second color is blue, so it has got the number 6. Now what is the third digit? Third color is orange. So that should be the decibel multiplier. Look at this. Now the color is orange. What is the color? What is the number given to the orange color? It is 3, and it should be 10 power 3. The third color should be written as to the power. Now this is into 10 power. What is the color for, what is the number for orange? It is 3. So it is into 10 power 3 plus or minus. You have the tolerance of gold metal band to be 5%. So this is the value of, now since you are measuring the value of resistance, the unit is ohm. So this is the resistance of this resistor. Hope you are very clear now. The first color talks about the number. For the second color also you will write the number. For the third color it should be the multiplier. For if it is orange, now as far as our diagram is concerned, the third color is orange. So you will write the number as power of 10. So since orange has been given the color, given the number 3, it should be 10 power 3. So I have written 56 into 10 power 3, which is the value of the resistance of this resistor with the plus or minus 5%, because the metallic band here is gold. So this is how you will determine the resistance of a resistor. Is it clear, children? Now this can also be written as kilo ohm. 56 into 10 power 3. 10 power 3 is kilo, right? So 56 kilo ohm plus or minus 5% is also the right answer. Okay. So this is about carbon resistors and the color code of the carbon resistors. Now with this we are moving on to the very important topic, which is called as temperature dependence. Temperature dependence of resistivity. So what happens to the resistivity of a conductor when you vary the temperature? That is the concept. Okay, that is why temperature dependence. So how the temperature has a dependence on resistivity of a particular conductor. That is what we are going to discuss, resistivity or resistance. Okay ma? Right. Now the resistivity of a material, we know the resistivity is represented as rho. So what is rho? Rho is resistivity, and what is sigma, children? Sigma is conductivity. So the resistivity, the conductivity of a material depends on what? Depends on temperature. Okay, so what happens when you vary the temperature? Now it is experimentally found that when you vary the temperature of a metallic conductor or any materials for that case, what happens to the resistivity? Suppose if you take a conductor, if you increase the resistivity, if you increase the temperature of a conductor, the resistivity also will increase. Okay, now according to this expression, so there is an expression which is given as rho t is equal to rho naught 1 plus alpha into t minus t naught. So this is the equation which talks about when you increase the temperature, the resistivity also will increase, given by this equation. So what is rho t here? Rho t is the resistivity of a conductor at a given temperature. Resistivity of a conductor at, let us say the temperature to be T degree Celsius. Then I have one more term called rho naught. Rho naught is the resistivity of the conductor at some reference temperature. Okay, now this T naught may be, we will take a reference value to be 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, and you have what is called as alpha. Alpha is nothing but you call it as temperature coefficient of resistance. Very, very important formula, children. Temperature coefficient of resistivity or also resistance. So when you vary the temperature, the resistivity of the conductor will increase, which is given by this formula. Now I can rewrite this equation. How can I rewrite this equation? Rho t minus rho naught equal to alpha into rho naught t minus t naught, or I can also have the value of alpha to be rho t minus rho naught divided by rho naught into t minus t naught. Now this is nothing but change in resistivity. This is represented as change in temperature. So I can also write this as del rho by rho naught into del T. So these are all the equations that are relating the variation of resistivity with respect to temperature. Now all these formulas are used to solve numericals. Okay, and the unit for alpha. Now alpha is temperature coefficient of resistivity. Okay. Now this is represented as per degree Celsius. The unit for alpha is per degree Celsius. Now here also you have ohm meter. Here also you have ohm meter, degree Celsius, right? So this gets cancelled. So which alone will be remaining? Degree Celsius, that is also in the denominator. That is why you have per degree Celsius as the unit for alpha. Is it clear? Now this formula can also be written as in terms of resistance. In terms of resistance, I can write RT is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha T minus T naught. Also, I can write alpha equal to RT minus R naught by R naught into T minus T naught. This is also equal to del R by R naught into del T. Now this is with respect to resistance. In terms of resistance I have given, and here is the equation which is in terms of resistivity. Okay, so these two are very important. Now let us compare this equation with respect to conductors and semiconductors. So before that, let us define what is temperature coefficient of resistivity or temperature coefficient of resistance. Now look at the equation here. Now this alpha is defined as the ratio of alpha is the ratio of increase in resistivity. So how the resistivity will, how it will change? Resistivity will increase. Okay, increase in resistivity per degree rise in temperature, per degree rise in temperature to its resistivity at T degrees Celsius. So this is how you define in terms of sentences. You have to define alpha is nothing but the ratio of increase in resistivity per degree rise in temperature to its resistivity at T naught degree Celsius. Now in the case of conductors, what happens? The value of alpha is said to be positive. That is, when you increase the temperature of a conductor, what happens to the kinetic energy of the electrons that are there moving in the conductors? Their kinetic energy will increase, and you have the resistivity of the conductor to be increasing, which is represented by a graph here. Now this is a linear variation. Now T is along the x-axis and resistivity is drawn along the y-axis. When you keep on increasing the temperature, the resistivity also will increase. Okay. Now there is a small non-linear region also here at lower temperatures. Okay. So there also exists a non-linear at lower temperatures. The resistivity may not increase, but after a certain temperature, the graph is linear. Now this is the case of a conductor. Okay, and I have written the formula of a conductor in terms of resistance also. Here is the formula which I have already discussed, right? Now in the case of a semiconductor, now semiconductors, we are going to learn about semiconductors in the next volume. Actually, semiconductors are those materials which conduct partially. Partially means you can neither say them as conductors nor insulators. They are in between them. They partially conduct. Okay, so as far as semiconductors are concerned, it is the ulta, just opposite of, it is the behavior of the semiconductors, just opposite to the case of conductors, semiconductors. Okay, so what is the relation here? Now look at this graph. Actually, as far as metals are concerned, when you increase the temperature, the resistivity also will increase, whereas in the case of semiconductors, it is not like this. We are going to talk about, learn about a very important semiconductor which is called as a PN junction diode, a diode which is made up of silicon, which is considered to be a semiconductor. Silicon and germanium, they partially conduct, so they are called as semiconductors. So in the case of semiconductors, when you increase the temperature, the resistivity of the semiconductor will decrease. Okay, now that is there in your graph in page number 98, figure 2.14. Now these two graphs are for, now this is a linear graph. I told you there are some non-linear region also where you have some value of resistivity, and after that the graph is varying. Okay, so this is with respect to conductors. Now with respect to a semiconductor, when you increase the, I will just draw a small graph here. Again, it is temperature along the x-axis and resistivity along the y-axis. When you increase the temperature, the resistivity of a semiconductor will be decreasing. This is how the graph goes for a semiconductor. Is it clear? So a semiconductor, you have the temperature coefficient of resistance to be negative as far as a semiconductors are concerned. Okay, ma? Now in your textbook there is a tabular column which is in page number 98, where they have talked about temperature coefficient of different materials. There are some materials whose now here look at this graph. This is a graph for temperature dependence of a semiconductor. Now temperature is along the x-axis and resistivity is along the y-axis. The graph is decreasing. Okay, when you increase the temperature, the resistivity decreases. This is in the case of a semiconductor. Is it clear, children? Now based on this, they have given a tabular column which talks about the different temperature coefficient value of different materials. Okay, and they also relate the formula sigma equal to, now this we have done in the previous topic. We have arrived at the relation for sigma, which is said to be conductivity, which is given by Ne square tau by m, and the inverse of sigma is nothing but rho. So rho equal to, I can rewrite this as m by Ne square tau. So how there is a proportionality between resistivity and the other terms in this equation. So first is the resistivity of a material is inversely proportional to now what is n, children? N is the number density of the electrons. So resistivity is inversely proportional to the number density of electrons. Second one, it is also inversely proportional to the relaxation time. What is relaxation time? Hope you remember what is relaxation time. Relaxation time is the average time between two successive collisions. So they are relating how the resistivity has a dependence on the number density of the electrons that is present in the conductor, and also how it depends on the relaxation time of the successive collisions of the electrons. So all these concepts are discussed very clearly in your textbook as points, children. This point may be a 3-mark question. So how does the resistivity of a material depends with respect to the formula rho equal to m by Ne square tau. So they may ask a question like this. So you should be able to give the answer in this case, right? Now with this, I'm going to discuss 2 problems that are there in your page number 99. Very small problems based on the resistivity, right? Example 2.13, children, take that problem. If the resistance of a coil is 3 ohm at 20 degrees Celsius and alpha is equal to 0.004 per degree Celsius, then determine its resistance at 100 degrees Celsius. So here 100 degrees Celsius is T100, and they have given the value of T0 to be 20 degrees Celsius. R1 is 3 ohm. Okay, you should determine the resistance R2 at 100 degrees Celsius. So when the resistance is 3 ohm at 20 degrees Celsius, what will be the resistance at R2, which is 100 degrees Celsius? So go for the formula. RT is equal to R0 1 plus alpha T minus T0. Substitute the value, you will get the value of R100 to be 3.96 ohm. Okay, ma? Then there is one more problem. Resistance of a material at 10 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius are 45 ohm and 85 ohm respectively. Find its temperature coefficient of resistance. You need to determine the value of alpha. They have given 2 temperatures and 2 resistance. So T0 is 10 degree, T is 40 degree, R0 is 45 ohm, and R is 85 ohm. So substitute the values, simply direct substitution. Alpha is equal to 1 by R0, del R by del T. When you substitute the value, you will get the temperature coefficient of resistance to be 0.0296 per degree Celsius. Okay, ma. So these are the two problems. Now go through the content that is there in the textbook. Two concepts we have discussed today. One is carbon resistor. The other one is temperature coefficient of resistance. Please go through the textbook part of it. Try to understand the concept very clearly. Okay, ma. See you, children.